fossil fuel subsidies that we spend on oil, on gas and on coal, they're costing governments directly every year $544 billion. Every year, again and again and again. And these are resources that governments just can't afford to pay. They can't afford to pay for these. Now, if you add in the estimates from IMF of the social cost of these fossil fuel subsidies on congestion, on air pollution, on traffic accidents and on carbon emissions, then these fossil fuel subsidies are huge. We're talking $2 trillion every single year. And the reason they're really pernicious and difficult is because they make carbon, the cost of carbon, very cheap. And that means that carbon is cheap to produce, to take out of the ground and to extract, and very cheap to consume, to burn up and emit into the atmosphere. And so that means that everything else, carbon-free options, become much more expensive. And so things like protecting nature reserves from drilling look more expensive, investment in eco-efficiency and energy savings looks expensive, investment in renewables and new technologies, or things like public transport systems. With fossil fuels in the equation, these subsidies make everything else not add up. The economics of sustainable development don't work. So fossil fuel subsidies have to go in order for us to move to a greener economy and towards sustainable development. Fossil fuel subsidies are huge, which means there are big opportunities for governments to switch and redirect those subsidies to do something else, and also to save money from those subsidies and put them somewhere else. So in society, what can be done immediately are cash transfers targeted on women, on poor people, and on specific groups in order for them to get better access to cleaner energy for all, and to compensate for changing the subsidies, so to target them better at the right people in society. And the savings means that more money could go into things like schools and hospitals and other parts of government spending that have been neglected in the past. Some subsidies are almost double spending on health that governments put into that sector. And then governments can switch, so they could put more money into investment in renewable energy, solar electricity, biogas, geothermal. These are resources that could go into greener fuels, and that would help a transformation towards a greener economy and towards sustainable development. So there are huge opportunities here, and many countries are doing this.